live at Cal Anderson. We're just going to play a little waiting game for anybody to show up. I know it's late. For those of you watching this after the fact, it doesn't really matter because it's not live. For those of you who are joining in who may never even see this because you'll be joining in after I say all these things, I know it's late. I happen to be in the area, so I decided to see what was going on. It's a whole lot of nothing. But that's a good thing. It's a good thing because that means I can wander around the area. I can show you where I got assaulted. I can show you what's going on with the precinct right now and what's happening at the park. So that's the plan. I was hoping there'd be something, and I have my camera with me. I have this little arm attached to my vest, so that I could live stream the whole thing. But yeah, I'm wearing. Speaking of wearing things, this is my press vest that I got. I had made with my little press badge, which is absolutely meaningless. I don't need a press badge because I'm in public. A press badge is issued to gain entrance to generally a private event. So anyone who thinks I need a press badge to be a member of the press, I'm sorry to inform you that is not correct. But I got sick of protesters trying to tell me I was wrong about that, so I had one made. They're surprisingly cheap to have one made. And on the back of it, I have the Supreme Court ruling and the local statute that says that technically I'm a member of the press, so on, so forth, whatever. So I have this just for fun. I thought there would be a little more action because there's been a lot of action, but I guess not today. Today's not one of their scheduled things. But yeah, so I'm going to wait for people to show up. If people show up, and there are 10 of you so far, and hello everyone. But once that happens, we're going to get out. We're going to walk around and try not to get assaulted this time. We're going to keep our distance. I don't think I'm going to bring my nice camera with me, though. Maybe. There's nothing really to take video of. But yeah. How are you guys? How's it going? I know I haven't uploaded anything in a bit. I have some real videos coming. I know it's been a lot of live streams, and I've been slacking on those real videos. But I have real videos coming. I have something on Jeremy DeWitt, and there, guys. Rennie, don't tell them. But there are potentially big things coming down the pipeline with Jeremy DeWitt. I might get to meet him in person. Rennie, don't say anything. Don't tell them. But yeah, that's gonna be big. I have a video on one of the articles from the Jeremy DeWitt case webpage where I sort of just tell them no, that's actually not correct, regarding this theory that the entire case might get dropped because of technicality, although they're wrong about the technicality from all the research I've done. So we're gonna get them on that. And Offset, the rapper, got detained in Beverly Hills, and there's a bit of information on that, specifically focusing on the fact that if you are lawfully detained while driving a vehicle, if it's a traffic stop, whatever, and the police order you out of your vehicle, you can't say no. You have to follow that order. That comes from Pennsylvania versus Mims. So we're going to talk about that for a little bit. Way down the line, I'm seeing if there's enough information on. There's a guy in D.C. that just died. There are the police right there in an unmarked vehicle. Oh, hello, police. It's good that they're here, just in case. Yeah, not an undercover vehicle, just unmarked. What was his name? What? Oh, sorry, I think I just disconnected for a second. Karen Hyleton, he was in D.C., he was riding on a scooter, he didn't have a helmet, and police tried to pull him over to be like, hey, guy, you need a helmet, and he fled down an alleyway and crashed. Now, the police say that he crashed into another vehicle upon exiting the alley. Some people are saying that the police ran him over from behind, but conflicting reports. There's not enough evidence. A lot of people on Twitter are being like, no, that absolutely, the police murdered him. Okay, maybe. I'd like to see more evidence of that before we start rioting, which has already happened. Well, protesting. Protesting has already happened because of his death. Small little protest. But I've requested the footage of that. I've requested all footage that they have. We'll see what happens. I believe his mother was just shown the footage. I could be wrong about that, but I know she was. I'm not laughing. It's absurd. She was pepper sprayed when participating in the protests based around her son's death. Orders to disperse appeared to have been given, and she did not leave. The group she was with did not leave. They instead approached the police for behaving very aggressively, and the group was spraying. That is unfortunate. I don't wish that upon her. I don't wish that upon anybody, having been, sprayed last time I was here. But when they order you to disperse, when there's a protest, an unlawful assembly, you gotta go. And they're gonna probably use OC spray to disperse you if you fail to disperse. That's the nature of the beast. Now, if you disagree with that, you can absolutely petition the government to change their practices, but until that petition is successful, that's what the practice is. So if you're going to a protest and you're interacting with the police, you can expect that. And I'm nothing but sympathy for her, but we're gonna wait until there's more stuff, and once I have that information, it's gonna either look good for the police or really, really bad for the police. And either way, that's something worth talking about. So that is that. Yeah. That's basically what I have in the works. Oh, also, Shaken Bacon is going to be released before Halloween. That's my little ghost hunt that I did. It's going to be released in 2 parts, and hopefully it's fun. And it's a very amateurish ghost hunt, but we're hoping to increase the production value on it for the next time. I've already purchased some equipment to help with that, and yeah. So, do we want to walk around? Do we want to see Kyle Anderson Park? Anybody? I could just stay in my car. It's warm in here. It's cold out there. It was fun. What do we think? Oh, it's so campy. Okay, look, Randy. Okay, so yes, it is colder in other places in the country. But right now, if I went out there, I would be cold. And that's what matters. So, what are our thoughts? What are our thoughts on me leaving the safety of my vehicle, in which I can flee from any would-be attackers, and going out there and wandering around the encampment? There's still tents there. They took down their little encampment, but people put tents back up, so we shall see. I'll take you over to the precinct they tried to burn down, they being the more aggressive protesters. I'm not saying all protesters were involved in that, but that was the night I was attacked, so I don't know if they're protesters or homeless or what, but you know what, let's go find out. I mean, I'm not going to go interact with them any more than possible. And sorry about that. We're going to hook this up to the little arm on my chest, so my face is going to be a little close, and I'll switch it over to the front view, and it makes sense. I'm going to grab my mask here in case anyone comes up to talk to me. I don't really want COVID. I'm just gonna dangle it there. Okay. Let's see what happens. I've never used this arm before, by the way. It's attached to my chest, so I have no idea how it's gonna be. I'm gonna turn the lights off in my car. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna lock that puppy up. So immediately, I don't know if you can see this. Let's see if I can switch that camera. Okay, what do you want? The car's beeping at me. Give me a second. What? Oh. Because I have my keys in my pocket of my jacket in my car. Don't pay attention. Don't look behind the curtain, folks. And just like that, let's go. All right. So I'm gonna take that, Let me show you what I'm seeing. So we have some tents there. I am parked. I didn't realize they were there when I parked here. But we're gonna keep going. We're gonna move around this way so we don't draw too much attention from them. Because like what I'm doing is fine. It's just I don't wanna have too many issues. Alright, entering Cal Anderson now. I'm going to switch forward. The lighting isn't great, so you're not going to be able to see too much. But my chin, great, good to see that. Boom. So we see a few tents. Certainly fewer than there were before. I'm guessing that these are homeless, as opposed to protesters. But we're going to get a little closer to the area. This is the back end of the park. This isn't where a lot of the action was happening. So, flip that back. And I'm going to keep walking. Any questions from you guys while I'm out walking about in my stupid little blue vest? Oh, I'm not going to do anything too dumb today. I'm absolutely retreating from danger today. If there were protesters in the area, I would not be leaving my vehicle. I learned the art of impersonation from Jeremy. That's right. Except this time, I actually am a member of the press. I fall under the legal classifications of that. But, sorry, adjust my stuff. That's not going to start yelling, Sergeant. Okay. Oh, coming across my first bit of graffiti. There's a tent over there to my left. I'm going to not show you all of it in the interest of privacy. I'm not here to, call attention like, oh, you're homeless. Oh. No, that's not what this is about. But no. It's probably going to be a boring little stream. I just thought I'd put something up. I know this is weirdly close to my face. It's just that this arm that I have my phone on isn't very far from my body. I might have to put a GoPro on for ghost hunting. But I figured it would be serviceable as for what I'm doing right now. So let me show you where it's happening. It looks like there are a few people here still. Oh yeah, and this is definitely still occupied. Let me flip the camera. No, come on. There we go. All right, so this is where most of it happened. All right, this conglomeration of tents. That building right there, they were distributing food. They were distributing first aid, water. They were also distributing shields, protective equipment. I won't say they were distributing weapons, but there were certainly messages on Twitter saying, come here if you want one, if you want something to defend yourself with. Now, defend yourself with can easily be to attack other people, as I learned. But that building, right in the center, to the left of that tree. And then it goes on, so on and so forth. I'm not going to walk to the center of it, but yes, this is what we're looking at. I'm just going to walk over here and hope that no one has too many questions for me. Yeah. More tents there. If you ever seen my video, the first one I did with the guys singing and we'll be jamming, I did that little music video. This is the area. This is the area that it happened in. They were somewhere over there, and it was great. It was a fantastic protest, and I was very pleased with what I saw. Not all the information was correct, but the way they acted as a community was very, very nice. I was very, very happy to see it. I know the camera's a little shaky, sorry about that. Turn it back towards me. So that's where we're at now. And the technically is supposed to be closed. People are using it. They're not enforcing it too much. But it's nice to see it active again and open again. Well, in the sense that people are actually using it, whether or not legally that is the case. But, ooh, there's a dog there. It spooked me. All right, let me show you the building that they were using a little closer. I'm trying to be as safe as I can. See, that's the building. They're using that to distribute the food, other material. I don't know if you would call that a headquarters, but you certainly wouldn't be terribly inaccurate to use that terminology. They might disagree, but when I was filming, when I got assaulted, I got my camera stolen, I actually do still have the audio of that. I was standing right where I'm standing now. And let me show you guys, right there, right in this field here, was where people were stretching, getting ready for their march to the East Precinct, which is just across the park over there. So, stretching, someone actually approached me and said, "Why are you filming? Don't film us." And you can hear that on the audio, which I don't think I've released yet, have I? I know Rennie has heard it. She can confirm. But I'll release it. I'll put it up somewhere. But this is where I was standing, where I was first approached and told, don't film us, don't take pictures, whatever. And I said, well, you're in public. I'm sorry to hear that you don't want me to do that, but oh, there goes my arm. All right, we are gonna keep walking. And what else is there to say? Ooh, a lot of graffiti. I'm gonna show you that. Oh yeah, Rennie was on the phone with me during a lot of that. So graffiti, you see my little shadow there with my little arm, my phone. A lot of graffiti, a lot of action in this area. People playing tennis, good for them. Tennis is a great sport. I don't care what you guys say. I'm no good at it. I don't play tennis, but I certainly respect the skill that it takes. And ooh, nice little shot of some graffiti there. It does seem a little late for tennis, but you know what? We're in a pandemic. Time has no meaning. A lot of cute dogs here, though. That's great. Love it. A lot of BLM fists graffitied up. Not too many people wearing all black. So if they're out and about tonight, they're not here. That's fine. They were out in force last night, and I was not there for it. Oh, a little bit of musical instrument action going on here. I'm getting around people who put a mask on. Yeah, I'll show you guys what I'm seeing. Got some skateboarders looking at me weird as they pass by. A little concerned with what I was doing, maybe. I don't know. All right, so there are the dogs. Enjoy. Those of you who love dogs. A little bit of skateboarding. Looks like a good time. I also can't skateboard. But, yeah. That's nice. It's calm. It's peaceful. It's certainly different. But, yeah, this is the epicenter of quite a lot of this stuff. We had the 24-hour occupation of Cal Anderson that was happening every single day, 24 hours. Later turned into the Chaz and Chop. So this is where all of that started. Yeah, this is where most of it. Got some musical stuff going on there, but they are not currently doing all that, so I'm not gonna harass them about it. Real talk, Xbox or PlayStation is what I saw. PC, obviously. Come on, son. Oh, right here. I don't know if you guys remember that video of the protester who allegedly got shot in the chest and had a heart attack, but they didn't actually get shot in the chest. Doesn't mean they didn't have some sort of heart attack, but a lot of the claims were incorrect. Right now, I'm at the first aid station. What was the first aid station? Where they were treated, and they did not want me to get footage of.
Rancho something or other. Let's see if I can get better look at it. Can I even see the sign? I don't even know. I don't know. But that's First Aid Station. That's where that was, in case anyone remembers that. Just giving you some context. Thanks for telling me to stay safe. Nothing appears to be happening right now. I'm keeping an eye out for people all in black. Certainly some people are giving me some weird looks, but that's probably because I have an arm sticking out of my chest. You know, I don't blame them. Let's see. Black Lives Matter signs in the windows. Makes sense. That's not unusual here. And now we are approaching one of the main intersections that has been used during the protests. The place I'm at right now, in the video where I was first assaulted, this is where they were setting up. This is one of the main intersections they were using. If my camera wants to flip, which it doesn't, this right here. They have a little hot dog stand in the corner there behind those people that are walking up the sidewalk. But, yeah, a lot of fun memories of this area. Some great graffiti. Good for them. And if the local area is cool with that graffiti, great. If not, I'm sure it won't stay forever. But I've seen worse. Yeah, little hot dog stand there. I'm gonna flip this back to my face. Because I'm near people. I'm gonna hold that up. We're gonna run because someone's trying to turn. All right. And now we approach the East Precinct and the location of my assault. More graffiti. More graffiti. A lot of graffiti. Some very nice. Oh, the police are out, and they are using the East Precinct. Let's take a look there. Folks, this has just become a cop watch. I'm kidding. It's not at all what this has become. But we see the East Precinct does appear to be active, which is great. Because for a while it wasn't, and I know it took a lot of, there's a lot of strain on the local police to sort of take over this area and patrol this outside of the patrol zones, and for them to take on the police that were not able to be here and operate out of those stations, the whole thing. Yeah, let me get a little bit more footage. You know, there's a parking garage. We have some very large cement blocks, keeping people from getting too close. Everything's been boarded up, which is reasonable because protesters have blown holes in this building, at least one hole. There was an explosive device they used to blow a hole in the building. It's a very small hole. I'm not going to say like they took down a wall, but they also tried to burn it down after sealing the doors with quick-drying concrete. So now they have a lot of barricades that were not there originally. As far as the location of my assault, right over here. This is where it all started. I was here, I was backing up, saying, hey guys, you know, I can film. You can't block my my progression on the sidewalk. Right around here, I started to get surrounded. I tried to push forward. The young lady, who was about 5 feet tall, pulled out pepper spray, at which point she became a lot more threatening. Said, if you don't leave, I'm going to spray you. So I turned around and went, okay, I'm leaving. I got kicked in the back a couple times, turned around, and like an idiot, gave a knife hand and said, you better stop. Now, wrong to make that gesture? Legally, no. But, of course, it inspired her to take action. I got sprayed, put her in an arm bar, and got taken to the ground right about here. Yeah, this is the area. I got pushed against the wall and was pulled away by medics. Someone started yelling at me, so I turned around and said, oh, I'm sorry, is this not over? Or something like that, something stupid, because I was just full of adrenaline. And I started to move back towards them, and the medics yanked me away back over here, washed out my eyeballs, and then moved me over there. At which point I'm like, please, I'm fine, get my cameras. They took my cameras, and they did, they took my cameras. So, That is why I don't have my camera on me. But this is the area. The footage of the assault, the one that we've seen, came from one of these buildings, somewhere up there. And there's a little bit of context for you geographically. What are your questions? Yes, what? Me. Stop. I'm hearing stop. Stop what? Stop doing what? What am I stopping? Turn around and slow film that building. Which building? I'll just do a slow circle for you. Oh, look for the camera? I've looked. I think it's inside a window maybe. And it's dark. It'd be difficult to find. But I will do it because I've been asked. So we're going to do a slow. It's got to be up here somewhere. Let's keep going up. Hold on. There we go. Now, what I'm seeing is going to be a lot better quality than what you're seeing. I can't see a camera. Unless it's right up there in that window. I'm not sure. We're getting into issues of privacy now. But surprised I didn't rain some SBB Army CQB training on them. I wanted to, folks. When it happened, I get very aggressive. I try to be calm, but when I'm perceive myself to be threatened, I get aggressive, stupidly aggressive sometimes. And once I got sprayed, I put them in an armbar. That's just training. It wasn't a pretty armbar because I was blind. I don't even know if I grabbed the right person, honestly. It was just the arm that was outstretched towards me that I perceived to be the person who sprayed me. It's like, again, I was blind. And I grabbed him just to stop the spray, at which point I was thrown to the wall. Again, that footage that we've seen of my assault looks much worse than what I experienced. It wasn't great, but it wasn't as negative to me experiencing it as it looked in that footage. But when I was on the ground, the last thing I wanted was to start fighting when I was outnumbered, because that's just going to increase their aggression against me. I'm really glad I had that thought. So I protected my neck, ducked my head, knew that I had steel plates and I could take a little bit of a beating. Now, if they had started, stomping on my ankle, it's a different story. At that point, I have to get away. But in my mind, it only lasted a few seconds. The video shows it lasted a little bit longer than that. But I'm glad I made the decision I did, because I think it saved me from getting much more injured than I was. But yeah, that's the area. After that, I walked back down the street. I started my live stream probably right around here and walked back. I was in Atlanta. This is from, come back, all right. Son of a retired legendary game warden. I was in Atlanta during the George Floyd riots. Me, another game warden, was patrolling on four-wheelers. A protester almost hit me with a metal pipe. Yeah, it's nuts. And I'm not saying that's all protesters, but there are enough of them that it is dangerous. I'm hesitating to sort of poop all over their movement, but what this started out as was something very cool. It was a community getting together in protesting something that they believed needed to be protested, and I'm all for police accountability, great, right? But it has devolved into something much more violent, much more sort of, I guess, primal. Might be an interesting choice of word for that. It's not what it was. And you might say, oh, well, that's just, that's the police infiltrating the movement. That's the alt-right. That's the government trying to instigate violence. Okay, maybe. But the rest of the protesters sure seem to be okay with it, for the most part. There were a few people that weren't. and thank you to them. And it often sort of seems to be the white people who are more aggressive. And I'm not trying to insinuate anything by that. It's just all the people who have helped me out have always been black for the most part, which is great. But I think that's because they have more experience dealing with this sort of thing, which isn't great. Like the fact that they have this experience, and they're a little more knowledgeable about, they're more experienced in protesting. Again, that's not a good thing for them. It's good that they have this knowledge and experience, but the fact that they have to have that knowledge and experience is not great. I'm going to give them that. But it's been very aggressive, younger white people that have really started some problems. Hold on, someone I think said something. Wait. Yeah, I'm not trying to make this a race issue about protests. I'm not saying that white people shouldn't protest on behalf of black people. But every time someone said, hey, let's get you out of here, or hey, protesters, he has the right to film you just like he had the right to protest. It's the same amendment. When I put that out there, because I like to yell that out to people, you're full of baloney, it is often the black people yeah, no, he's right, which is great. Thank you. To everyone who's doing that. Again, not trying to make a race issue, just making some commentary. Maybe this is different elsewhere. This has just been my personal experience. It's a weird experience, though. I'm just walking. Right around here is when I thought I was being followed to my car, by the way. I don't know if I said anything during the live stream about it, but I thought someone was following me. I started to sort of take some weird zigzags. Just a fun fact. But yeah, that's what are your questions? That's basically a tour of the area, in case anyone was curious. It's weird being back here. I've been avoiding it. I went back here to try to see who had footage of my assault. But other than that, I've definitely been avoiding this area. Oh yeah, I was very much inside my head. I was very worried about people following me back to my car. And then from that point, maybe following me back to my home. Now my car is concerned because you can do a lot with the license plate if you want to find my address. And at that point, then my family's not safe, right? I have no problem defending myself, but my family didn't sign up for all of this. So I will absolutely take enormous steps to protect them, and I'm trying not to be stupid with my identity so that people don't abuse it. I don't know if you guys remember, I had a video back in the earlier days of my channel. It was a Third Amendment audit. It was a joke, because I saw a Facebook post we see First Amendment auditors and Second Amendment auditors. What about the Third Amendment auditors? I'm like, oh, I'm in a position to actually do that. So I went to base, and I went to a bunch of soldiers within the limits of 18 U.S.C. 795, because I know what that base allows or does not allow to be filmed, since I enforced that law. And I went up to them and said, do you know about the Third Amendment? You know you can't leave my house, right? And it was all fun and games until someone contacted that unit and tried to get them all fired for participating in what was a joke. That none of them were fired. They were just like, hey guys, can we just remove this video for right now? We're getting too many calls. There was a targeted attack on my channel because of that. So after that, I realized I had to be very, very careful with what I'm doing and who I'm getting involved in this. And I want them to know what's happening and what they may experience because of it, because they didn't sign up for it. I know it's a little dark. Sorry about that, guys. I'm in a darker area. At least I'm aware. That's true. And it's like I say, right? The people are like, oh, how could this happen? How could I get doxxed? Like, well, you shared your personal address, right? They shouldn't be doxing you. But it's, what did you think was going to happen? Same with this protest. Like, oh yeah, they can't legally attack you. What do you think was going to happen? Well, I expect it to go as far as it did. That's on me. Legally, I was right, but it was still a stupid decision. right? If I went to Mexico and said cartels ain't nothing, right? Cartels are a bunch of sissy boys, and I got shot. Well, of course I'm gonna get shot. No one's gonna be surprised by that. All right, heading back to my car, which is around here somewhere. It's gone. The car's just gone. Are they actually running? Or is who running? Not me. Running's for people that want to exercise, and that's not this guy. I'm just kidding. Exercise is fine. Oh, okay, Greg, gotcha. Hey, this is the Blue Bacon channel, not the Greg channel. Let's get it together. I'm just kidding. Yep. Very exciting stuff, this live stream. But hey, I have to let you guys know that I'm still around. Some people are getting a little worried. But I'm about to have a lot more free time to make videos. My schedule has been altered. So, should allow for that. You know, with this whole COVID thing, my schedule's been a little nuts. But it's going to be slowing down. There we go. Only 3.5 hours. No, we're not doing a 4-hour stream. Don't be absurd. All right, there we go. There's a little bit of light. You know what? I'm going to put back up. I'm going to move because it's a little weird being this close. I can't look at the screen though because legal stuff. So we're just going to put you down there. Turn that light off. I'm just going to talk to you guys, and you're not going to be able to see me much at all. Sucks to be you. All right. Boom. You can see what it's like to watch me patrol an area. Okay. I miss it. I miss patrol. I do. The guy's license plate is good. I've had some people get upset at me, actually. I made a post on some website about ways that I recommend interacting with the police and how I would interact with the public. And one of the things I said was, I'm going to pull you over for small things like license plate lights being out, tail lights being out, headlights not working at night. And I'm probably not going to write you a ticket. What I'm really doing is looking for a bigger crime happening, you know, drug smuggling, human trafficking, intoxicated driver, right? I have every right to pull you over for a small vehicle malfunction. Every right. But I'm probably not going to write a ticket. I just want to inform you that it's broken, right? So that someone who is more aggressive with ticket writing doesn't get to you. People have been upset by that, saying, oh, you're just making up excuses to pull people over. No, that's an absolutely valid reason. It's just that I'm trying to be nice about it. Like, do you want me to write tickets for these small things? I don't know what's going on. So, just kind of weird. It seems strange. But this guy's dancing over there. Hold on, I saw someone say something. I can't look. Unfortunately, I am driving. I know. If I was doing this more legit, I'd have someone in the passenger seat with me working the camera. But I do not have that because I operate solo, which is part of my problem. Oh, there's the police right there. Okay. We're gonna calm down a little bit. Yeah, okay. They're not going after me. They're going to be very confused with this thing attached to my chest, that's all. Ask your question, I'll answer them when I get to them. I'm just going to keep driving. Let's see what we got. Oh, I'm about to drive through one of the earlier areas where the police pepper sprayed a whole bunch of people. Right here, not that you can see where I am, but this area is just full of interesting little protest facts. A lot of recent history in this area regarding the whole thing. but that was a really big deal and inspired more protests. Like, how dare they tear gas us? Well, how dare you not disperse and give a lawful dispersal order after you're blocking a street unlawfully, right? If you're going to block a street, I've said this before, I'm going to say it again because I think it is very important. If you're going to block a street while protesting, you do need a permit to do so. And the city is not issuing permits because of COVID right now, because they don't want any large assemblies. I don't know if I can even go down this street, but we're going to do it. This might be a one-way street. No, I think I'm fine. All right. The city's not issuing it, so I can assume that any protest that's occupying a street is unlawful. It's an unlawful assembly. If you unlawfully assemble in the middle of an intersection, the police are going to try to get you to move. But if you're bringing shields and you're like, nope, we're going to resist that. If you're lighting dumpsters on fire, if you're taking bottles, I haven't seen the dumpster thing, by the way. I just know that it has happened elsewhere. If you're taking bottles and smashing them on the street to make it more difficult for police to advance towards you, obviously you're not going to disperse, at which point the police have the legal right and authority to basically escalate their use of force to get you to leave, which usually will be tear gas, it will be OC spray. It's a whole thing. People have been a little bit upset about the tear gas because they think it's a war crime. It is not. The Chemical Weapons Convention specifically states that it can be used for civil disturbances like protests. The reason that it's not allowed in war is because there's a concern that it will escalate into worse gases, right? Once one gas is used, someone's going to use another gas that's worse, which is going to be countered by another gas that's worse. That's the reason. So civil unrest, you're not likely to have people brewing, sarin gas in their basement and releasing it on the general public. The other concern is that it spreads. You can't control CS gas. Once it's out there, it's going to spread on the wind, and other people might have to experience it. Oh, hello, sir. Ma'am, whoever you are. I got to sneak by you. These streets are a little narrow and people are parking on both sides. I'm on the back streets. Oh, what is this, sir? Hello. Magnificent beard. I'm just driving around in circles right now, rambling, trying to find a parking spot. In Seattle, there are no parking spots. Yeah, so there are concerns with that. So OC spray is a little, or not OC, tear gas, not used as much, but pepper balls, yes, we're still seeing that. But people get upset they're getting shot with pepper balls. But when you remove the lower tiers of force, then the only thing left is to escalate to the higher tiers, because otherwise, normally you would use the lower tiers first, but if you don't have them, now you have to go to something worse. Now, everyone out of this actually have to leave. I just have to stay away from the police line and not. Sorry, I just lost connection again. I need to do research into what I can do as a member of the media. Oh, here we go. This kind of looks like park. No, it's not. I have no idea what's going on with my phone. They're going to act as members of the media. They should know this. A lot of people in the media do not know this. Or they don't take the time to figure it out. And they just go, I'm being attacked as a member of the media. No, you're in the front lines because that's where the best footage is. And the police are trying to disperse the front lines. So they're shooting pepper balls into the front lines and you're there. They're not targeting you. Now in Seattle, I can stay in that area. In Portland, it used to be you couldn't. You didn't have the right to stay. Once the orders to disperse were issued, boom. Now, there was an injunction, I believe, that was issued. Basically, the city was sued to allow the media to stay. And the city was like, all right, temporarily we'll allow it. But other places across the country, that is likely not a thing, right? You have to leave. So, fun fact, that just goes into that whole thing. I don't even know what started that ramble. But, all right, we're gonna, there's no parking spaces in Seattle. There are none. 0 parking spaces. Oh, is that? Nope. That is a driveway. Well, I use the term driveway very loosely. Nope, that also is one. What on earth is, I don't even know where I am right now. We're gonna go this way. I'll get to a question in a second, guys. I didn't realize it would take this long for me to figure out where to stop my car. I keep seeing a little light pop up when someone mentions something. I'm not looking at it, though, because that's illegal. It's a crime, and I'm trying not to record myself committing crimes. That would be ridiculous. Okay. Well, we're going up this hill. A lot of hills in Seattle. It's a very hilly kind of a place. You guys just keep talking amongst yourselves. Ooh, this eagle sound good. Fun fact. Oh, that would have been it. No, it wasn't the spot. Never mind. We're good. This looks vaguely like, oh, maybe not. Nope, that's no parking sign. What is even happening? It's ridiculous. There's no parking anytime. No parking anytime. Cha-cha-cha-cha-cha. It's a bunch of baloney. Bunch of baloney, I say. Sorry, I'm not going to be on much longer anyway, so once I find a spot, I'm going to answer questions, and then who knows what. Nope, no parking anytime. No, can't do that. Some nice houses out here, though. Good for them. What do you go this way? And nope, no parking anytime. Seattle, man. It's a fun city, but good God. Problem is it's built on a swamp, right? Seattle is built on a swamp, so there are no parking garages. Well, there are, but they're limited. It's very expensive to build a parking garage here. So it often does not happen. So you have very, very expensive parking lots where you can park. And then anywhere that isn't expensive, there is nowhere to park. Oh, they're standing place. No, okay, that's a driveway. It's fine. Right. You harassing them? Where am I? Oh, I know where I am. Okay. There's like a gas station. Parking there, and then just flee. Someone approached me. Oh. Yep. We got it, folks. Ow. Enjoy that beeping. Now, this is a part stream that is just a bunch of nonsense because I'm trying to do things live. I don't know how I'm going to fit in here. I believe in myself, though. That's an Audi SUV that I really don't want to hit. That's expensive. Oh, come on. Nope, not going to fit there. Well, oh, jeez. Ah. Where am I gonna go? Nope. Why not this way? This seems like a fun place to go. Alright. Yep. And what else can I ramble about? Oh, there's a gas station. We're going to the gas station, folks. We're doing it live. Deluxe Bar and Grill. It's tempting. Always down for a burger. And the light is still red. I was parking and walk back. Yeah, home's a little bit of ways from here. I do not live in this area. Which I'm pretty happy about, because this area, things get a little nuts with the protests. I'm not going to say that's good or bad for, well, no, I will say it's bad for the people who live here. Alright, there's no one here, so I can probably just sneak on. Doing whatever. I'm going to stay for a little bit and then flee. Before anyone starts asking too many questions. Alright, what have you guys asked me? Oh boy, a lot of Alright. Okay, we're back. Running is lame. It's now they're running a Greg channel right now. Well, based on the fact I wasn't able to talk to any of you, that sounds about right. Talk more about Metro State. It's so funny. I have a video coming up on that. Don't worry, folks. We're gonna have some good stuff on that. Well, some okay stuff. Basically, look, there are allegations, there are claims that the Jeremy DeWitt case website
is being run by an ex of Jeremy, which is why there's so much information. In that, as long as he pays her rent, it says nice things about him, which is basically extortion, I think. Could be wrong. Well, only if it's... I don't know if that would be legally extortion, because if she's posting factual things... I don't know. Anyway, I don't know if that's true. I have no idea. I don't really have a way to figure it out. I've tried finding out who the owner of the website is, but it's through GoDaddy, and they protect that information, so unfortunately, can't. But they made a post that I'm going to basically tell them that they're completely wrong about. Let's see, where was I? Sergeant Lieutenant, please. What's next on my channel? I have a ghost hunt video that I'm going to release in 2 parts called the Shaken Bacons at Starvation Heights. Which is actually Wilderness Heights, but the nickname is Starvation Heights. I recommend looking into Starvation Heights. It's very interesting. And then the Jeremy DeWitt video, and then a video on Offset the Rapper. And then at some point I'm going to get into Gregory Tambone and basically just ruin his life by saying everything he's telling people about himself is a lie. Well, not everything, but I don't want to ruin his life, folks. I don't want to ruin his life, but he's not going to like it. The things I've found out about him. He runs a sort of a security, self-defense, knife shop YouTube channel. He has something like 80,000 subscribers, maybe 100,000. And the government's after me, you know, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, no, you're a felon who's tried to kill a man before. All right. Let me see the chat. Where was I? So there's a bunch of stuff coming. Hopefully I can release it soon. Something about snow. As far as live streaming, the legality of it, as long as I'm not looking at the phone, it should be fine. It should be basically a hands-free device. If I'm looking at the phone, they could consider it a distraction. Rennie is saying that she'll see if she can get me to repeat something. I don't know what that's about. We need Powers to help. We do need Powers to help film. For those of you who don't know who Powers is, he's a friend of mine. He's part of the Shaken Bacon video. That is his actual name. I didn't name him. I don't know what that's about. Let's see, what else? PJ's POV loves snow. Now we know. Let's see, where are Metro State Protest Protection Services? Wouldn't that be fun? Well, that would require them to have that Class D security license, which they don't have, which is a concern because their website absolutely says that they are a security company, whether they realize it or not. Something I actually did bring up to him, I think. And he's like, oh yeah, I'll get the website changed. I wasn't the one who made the website. Like, okay, but it's your website, and you never looked at it, and nothing has changed on the website, so I don't know what's going on there. But that's something I hope to discuss with him in person, actually, his security stuff, if possible. We'll see. Looting going on right now in a Philly Walmart. That is unfortunate. I think Walmart can handle it legally. Not okay, but Walmart's going to be fine. Not that it makes it okay. I'm not saying it makes it okay. But I'd rather it be Walmart than like a mom and pop shop. Pepper balls are filled with powder OC there, my friend. That is generally true, yes. But there's a big difference between the powdered OC and OC spray or CS gas. The powder doesn't go very far. Hold on, there's someone pulled up behind me, so I'm going to go so I don't get accused of stealing spots they're using. And I'll talk about CS gas and OC powder and all that good stuff while I get out of here. So, OC spray, liquid form, I'll stick to you. There are 2 kinds. There's water-based and there's oil-based. The water-based, I think, is more painful, but it's easier to wash out from what I've heard. I've only experienced water-based. Oil-based, very difficult to get rid of out of your eyeballs. It sticks around for a few days. It's also potentially flammable, which means that once you spray someone, then you can't really use a taser. It is more difficult to... There are situations where you just can't use it, which is why water is generally preferred.
That's no parking. All right, cool. There's no parking. We get to experience this again. OC powder, that's something that would be in a pepper ball. Pepper ball is basically, it's a paintball, essentially. That's, instead of filled with paint, it's filled with whatever the capsicum, it's the whole thing. Whatever the spiciness of a pepper is, that's what it's basically filled with. Oh, it's bumpy here. All right. And then it'll burst upon impact, and it'll get in your eyes and mouth, but it won't travel very far. And then you have CS gas, which is also known as riot control gas, which honestly isn't that bad. It'll make you, man, I shouldn't have gone this way. It'll make breathing difficult, but it's designed to get you out of an area. You don't want to be in an area where you're struggling to breathe. And I say struggling to breathe, it's not like I'm dying. It's like, oh, this is really uncomfortable. I'm coughing a lot. Some people do experience it worse than others. If you have asthma, you probably shouldn't, maintain a presence in an area where CS gas has been released. If you're protesting and you have that kind of, if you have a pre-existing breathing condition, I would not advise you to be part of a protest. I'm not going to say don't. You have the right to protest. I think that just make good choices. The issue is that it will spread to people who are not involved. And that can be an issue. So even if you do remove yourself from the area and you have a breathing problem, you might still get hit with it. Not with the full force, it'll just be uncomfortable. So it's not a huge issue, but definitely people are upset, like, oh, we don't want to get tear gas. We're not even part of this. Like, come on. So there are concerns with that. And why can't I park anywhere? No parking, no parking, no parking, no parking, no parking. What about parking? No. We're gonna find out. Oh, it's definitely a no. All right. Well, it looks like a lovely neighborhood. So, I'm gonna go check it out. Yeah. Okay. Awkward silent bit that someone's going to complain about later. The good about this, is this parking? Can I park here? I kind of got the feeling I can't. We're not going to risk it. We're just going to go around another circle. My most exciting live stream, folks. The very best one. Oh, he doesn't turn. Okay, so your brights are on. That's illegal. And there's, nope, everyone's parked here. Oh, that was a spot, and I missed it. I don't know if I would even, but that is a spot. Hello. We're parking here. I found it, folks. I found the spot. Oh, and I just ran into the curb. All right. There's a person walking here who's probably like, this is an idiot. It's fine. It's whatever. It's fine. It's only a hubcap. It's a cheap hubcap. Okay. We are securely parked. Everything is fine. I'm just going to do that. All right. Live chat. What do we have? What do we got? What does everyone say? I can't go back that far. All right. Earliest one I can see is from 8:23. So, okay, we've seen that part. I'm driving a Prius. All right. Yep. And we need to get Blue and J Pavilion to do a collab. Yes, we do. J Pavilion, let's do collaboration. Let's see. What is it? I want your guys' opinion on what makes Jeremy DeWitt so great. Because I stumbled upon this by accident. This was the whole thing. Like, I didn't realize it was going to be huge. I was like, oh, Real World Police had this video. It's very interesting, but I could actually discuss some legal topics on there, so it'll be great. I don't know why. I mean, he's hilarious. He's very interesting. But I'm hoping to get your opinion
you folks on why you enjoyed watching it so much. Oh, the ex-FBI guy that had the fake breakdown on video? Yes, I have the script for that. It's just that, everything in the world has been exploding. So I've been trying to keep my stuff a little more topical on what's happening with that. But we will get to that. I do have a script for it. Opinion on felony charge for Atlanta cop who fatally shot man. I need more information on which one that was. How is it still light? It's not. There's live street lights here in the city. Can I get Jeremy's autograph? I can try, but I'm keeping it. I do want his autograph, actually. I want him to autograph something Metro State related. Maybe his mugshot. No, he'd walk away. He wouldn't accept that. Yeah, tasing guy and he burst into flames. You laugh, but I'm pretty sure that's actually happened. With people, maybe not from OC spray, but if they were covered in flammable material. A taser will absolutely ignite it in the right circumstances. What do I do at protests, Philip? I film. I stand there and I film, and if people say you can't film me, I cite law at them, which usually makes them angry because they assume I'm a police officer, which I used to be, but I'm not acting as a police officer in that capacity. I'm acting as an independent journalist, which is one. I have this fancy press thing going on. But yeah, mustard gas is brutal though. Scoville units measurement of pepper heat. Yes, I'm just, for those of you who are like, what is he talking about? I'm just reading through the comments that I missed while I was driving. Taser causing internal human combustion. That would certainly be a problem. I wouldn't know what to do if that happened. If I tased someone that happened. Capsaicin, that's it. Oleoresin, that's the word I couldn't remember. Let me see. Spraying the fire extinguishers, true. I almost bought a small fire extinguisher to bring with me to the protests. But then I saw what happened to Kyle Rittenhouse when he put out fires, and I decided that was a bad idea. And again, with the Kyle Rittenhouse thing, I think it was a stupid choice for him to make, to bring a firearm, especially when he can't legally carry a rifle in public. I just dropped my phone. He would have a solid claim for self-defense, though, except that he was 17, and Wisconsin does not generally allow, maybe in his case they don't generally allow the claim of self-defense if the self-defense is conducted in the commission of a crime. He was technically committing a misdemeanor. I had someone on my channel saying that it has to be a felony, but I haven't found that in the actual statute itself. It's entirely possible there's case law about that, which I would love to see. If that's the case, then great. He really does have a very good claim for self-defense. But I believe Illinois is not going to press charges against him, though, because nothing he did was committed in Illinois that they can prove. So that's the thing, and I don't think they're willing to extradite him to Wisconsin. So I don't know that we're going to get a good resolution on that. Just carry around firecrackers and make people run. Yeah, until they decide, oh, what's that? Now I have everyone's attention. They're gonna be like, oh, what are you doing? Get out of here, and chase me off. Let me see. Jeremy is great because of the shock factor. I mean, that's fair. One of the things that was always fun for me to see happen was stuff just kept coming. Like, oh, this is interesting. Okay. Oh, there's more. Oh, he's a felon. Oh, he's throwing chairs in Chicago. Like, it doesn't stop. So I was wondering what you guys thought about that. Car can't be at Prius. It can't travel up the Seattle hills. That's an excellent deduction. Do I follow the Facebook channel, a group where we pretend to be Jeremy DeWitt? No, I didn't know that was a thing, but that sounds amazing. Autographed Moto 1 helmet. Yes. I want a badge. I want one of his badges. The metal ones. If he autographed that, I would keep that. I would treasure that, honestly. Wait, the Dodgers won the World Series? The World Series was happening? Man, 2020 is nuts.
Well, congratulations, Dodgers. APR got banned from that Facebook group, I believe. Let me see. Garrett Rolfe. I don't know if I've seen that one. There's been so much stuff going on that I've been looking at. Twitter has been full of a bunch of nonsense where I'm like, you guys know that you're making stuff up, or if what is being said is true, it would be concerning. But the facts don't support what people on Twitter are saying. For example, Offset the Rapper, I'm going to be doing a video on that. He was at an area where there were a bunch of Trump supporters, and one of them hit the hood of his car. One of them admitted to hitting, or a witness said that someone hit the hood of his car with a flag. A pro-Trump witness, said this. So, possibly biased. Offset was pulled over because someone reported that a passenger in his vehicle waved a gun at the people who were hitting the car, and the police investigated it, and they asked Offset to step out, and he was like, no, I'm not going to step out. Well, you have to. You have to step out when you've been lawfully detained. That is, the Supreme Court has actually ruled on that. He refused. He was detained. He could have been charged with obstruction. He was not, which is fortunate for him. His passenger was charged with carrying unlawfully carrying a firearm. Not charged with brandishing. Charged with unlawfully carrying. So we have this person on Twitter the Twitter says that they are a civil rights attorney, and they're like, well, being charged isn't a conviction. Why was he charged? Oh, there's no complainant. The person who said he was brandishing the firearm decided not to press charges. So why is one of them still being charged? It's like, you're a civil rights attorney. You're asking those questions. It's because the charge isn't based on the original complaint. The charge is based on evidence of criminal activity that the police found, which means that the state is the complainant. The state is filing charges, not the original complainant. That's really basic stuff. That concerns me, that a civil rights attorney, or someone claiming to be a civil rights attorney, is not aware of that. As far as, oh, well, he was charged, but he could still be innocent. Sure, he could be. But they found a weapon that he was not allowed to have. And the fact that someone said that there was a weapon in the vehicle that was being brandished, and one was found, kind of points me in the direction of, I think that they were brandishing a weapon. Now, was it self-defense? Very well could be. If my vehicle's being attacked, I have a firearm, I might pull it out and be like, stop. Low ready, Sewell position, whatever. Not low ready, Sewell specifically, which is down. You better stop right now. I don't know if that's what happened. I would not point the firearm at a person until I actually thought my life was very much in danger and I needed to actually shoot them. As a police officer, I might. But that's because I would have already had legal justification to shoot them. As a civilian, I'm going to be much, much more careful about that because the legality surrounding it is a lot more complicated. So he might have been in the right to brandish weapon self-defense, except he was in the commission of a crime, so maybe not. It's the whole thing, and the police just wanted to investigate it, and people are like, oh, the police were wrong, because why didn't they go after the Trump supporter? Well, we don't know that they didn't. Oh, they smashed his window. The police didn't. Oh, no, the protesters. No, there's literally nothing, there's no evidence of that. Offset has not said anything. He released a press statement that didn't contain that information. None of the articles I've read contain that information. Just someone said it on Twitter because his window was rolled down. You can't see the window. And there's no broken glass, nothing. So it's just like, what is going on? Why are people just making stuff up? It's very frustrating. Look, there are things to be upset about. But if you start making things up to be upset about, that takes away your energy to be upset about the correct things. Don't just make things up because blue man bad, as Operator Jonah would say. No. Figure out the facts so you can target the things that are actually a problem. Because if you target the things that aren't a problem, you're just going to waste your energy and you're going to look foolish. It's not going to go anywhere. There are also claims, they're covering up their badges, when in reality, no, it's just a low-resolution video, and in that low resolution, it looks like a badge number would be covered, except that the badge number is below the area that appeared to be covered. So it's a whole thing. Like, do some research. Just do some research. If you see something that's a concern, look into it a little bit before you actually say anything. That goes for literally anything, right? If you're upset about, Biden allegedly, giving his son, all sorts of illegal opportunities, investigate that before you start,
repeating that claim. If you're concerned about Trump allegedly giving his son all sorts of illegal opportunities, investigate that before making that claim, right? These are both things that are being said on the internet. I'm not going to comment on it now, but look into that before you start spreading it. I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat. Do some research into what you're talking about. And on Twitter, it's brutal. People just retweet and be like, "Oh, this is what's happening." No, there's a lot of stuff that you're wrong about, or there's just not that information doesn't exist yet. It's someone making this claim and there's no evidence to back it up yet. So it's frustrating. Twitter's very, very frustrating. But goodness, do I like. If you want to see me discussing things with people that don't want me to discuss things with, Twitter, Sergeant Blue Bacon, find me on Twitter. People get mad at me. I try to be very polite, but people get mad at me. Where was I in regards to all of your comments? Where was I? Oh, there's so many comments. Guys, stop. I'm just kidding. Please keep commenting. All right. Now, Metro State was on a wrestling show. Yes, and it was amazing. And I'm so excited that happened. That was something I should have seen earlier. All right, I think I'm about right. We're back at the Garrett Rolfe thing. He was in an accident this week and never stops. Blue quit his job, moves to Florida, and works for Metro State. You know what? I'd be tempted to. If they offer me a competitive salary to what I make now, I'd be tempted, at least temporarily, to take some time off of work and go do some stuff and show them how it's supposed to be done. I would absolutely work for them as a consultant, part-time. I would. Not permanently. I would help them out, and once it would be like it would be like was not Hell's Kitchen, is that right? Kitchen Nightmare, where Gordon Ramsay goes to failing restaurants and goes, I guess is what's wrong, except not in that voice, because that's not his voice, he's British. And then you see how they're doing months later. I would do that. I think I need to make that a show where I go and say, legally, this is what you need to do. Metro State, or anyone else involved in that sort of thing. I would absolutely be a consultant temporarily and give them advice and then check up on them later. Which is something I already did through the internet. I was talking to some employees of Metro State and being like, this is what you need to fix. And the changes were implemented, which I am extremely grateful for. I'm not out here to make an enemy of anyone who works for Metro State. I'm going to encourage you guys to not dox them, not harass them or their families or anything like that. But all I want is for them to stop breaking the law and for that company to be run correctly. So that's the goal. I'm not here to make a fool of Jeremy. I'm not none of that, no. Okay, I heard a conspiracy. Molly says, I heard a conspiracy that a detective in the area is about to go work for Curtis, and that's why they bother Jeremy so much in that area. I find it interesting, but I doubt it. Curtis, is that a competing company? Because I heard a rumor that one of them was going to work for a competing company, and I reached out to him about that. He goes, no, that's ridiculous. That's absolutely not about to happen. So we'll see. But the amount of the people I've managed to talk to in this always surprises me. People reach out to me and be like, hi, I'm this person involved with this. Do you have a few moments? We have some questions. Like, oh, I am now an expert on this. And we have a pretty big name who reached out to me. Rennie, don't say anything. A big name who reached out to me. So we're hoping that goes somewhere. I'm keeping that one close to the chest in case it doesn't actually happen. I don't want you guys to get all excited about it. But should make good content. Potential rumors, Jeremy DeWitt offered a deal to serve 18 months in jail or prison and give up business. I've heard a lot of similar rumors. I've heard, he was offered 1 year in jail and then 15 years without being able to hold a position of authority, which means he would be able to run his business but not participate in any kind of leadership position where he was in the convoy, or it was basically would have allowed him to do paperwork. And that's one hell of a deal considering that he's facing so many felony charges. I think he might beat some of his charges. I really do. I think he has a reasonable defense for some of his actions, but certainly not all of his actions. Biden in illegal activities as a politician? No, never. Well, that goes for many politicians. I'm not going to make this a political thing, but No, we're not going to go into that. We're not going to go into that. Oh, right. Yeah, okay, so Rennie says, Philip, the deal was on the table at the beginning of COVID. Blue can elaborate, I believe. Yeah, so there were deals that were offered. I've heard various rumors about what they were, but he didn't take them. And the whole point of being offered a deal is so that you don't have to go through this entire court process. And you don't not waste time, because court is important and you have the right to a fair trial and all that. But it's basically like, look, if you're going to say I'm guilty or I don't want to contest this, the nolo contendere, I believe, then we can just avoid doing all this nonsense. You can save yourself some money with your lawyer. We can just file you under a plea. We say you're not innocent for whatever reason, and then you get this really nice sentence that we offer you. He was offered that. He decided no. So that deal is very likely off the table. There might be something similar, but I think that exact deal is probably no longer a thing, based on the fact that he's making him go through the process, and therefore that deal's not going to get sweeter unless he's doing a really good job beating his charges, which, I mean, it's still early in the game, so maybe we'll see that, but right now I don't think so. All right, what else we got? I'm 6 minutes behind. Gordon Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares. That's it. Yes. Okay. Why not let Jeremy DeWitt go to riot areas? Boom, riot's over. I would pay money to see that. I don't want to see anyone hurt. But good God, would that make interesting content? Let's see. Jeremy DeWitt just needs to stay grounded. He has good potential when he's not going cuckoo. We'll see. Jeremy, I say this, and I know I get a lot of hate about it on the internet. Jeremy would have made a good police officer if he had been placed under the right, if he had the right teacher, right? He's really good at taking control of the situation. He has a lot of charisma. I know we see a lot of him shouting and screaming, but when he's playing it calm, he's very charismatic. But he can be very controlling in a manner that is actually very beneficial to a police officer. The problem is that he uses those skills for criminal activity, whether he realizes it's criminal activity or not. Is a shame. If he had a better sort of mentor at a younger age, teaching him, right and wrong, I think that there's a lot of potential. It unfortunately is wasted. And as he is now, no, I would not want to see him as a police officer. But there are certain skills that are very difficult to teach that he has. But unfortunately, he's used them for evil and not good. Not that he's evil. I'm just analogies, right? I'm still trying to remain as neutral as possible. It's difficult. I'm certainly biased in various ways. No one is immune to bias. But I'm trying to stay neutral here. Did Jeremy change the badge design? If so, what police department did he steal from this time? I don't know that he ever changed the badge. I know there was talk about it, designs. I've seen designs. I don't know if he stopped carrying the Los Angeles badge. Now, I say Los Angeles because it's basically the Los Angeles police badge. It has the city seal and everything. But instead of saying police, it says Metro State. Instead of having an officer name, it says, Jeremy DeWitt or something like that. So, it is not a police badge, but it is very much the identical symbology and picture of a Los Angeles badge, which is a bit of a concern. Now, you can own that. That's something you can absolutely own. If he's flashing it at people, though, and saying, you need to respect my authority, to quote Cartman, that's illegal. that's gonna give him a lot of trouble. I don't know if he's done that. I'm not saying he's done that. I'm saying if he has done that, not good. Jeremy is like he's not sitting in prison his whole adult life. Well, based on the charges, Jesus. Based on the charges he's facing, if he served all of them consecutively, he's looking at over 80 years if he got the maximum sentence, which he wouldn't. But if for some reason that happened, yes, he would die in prison, potentially.
I gotta contact some people in Metro State that I know and be like, hey, what can you send me right now? You know, with express shipping, so I can get him to autograph it. Oh no, Jeremy. So Repo Man says Jeremy would be a horrible police officer, and the issue is that the yelling in his temper is too short. Yes, he has a very short temper. However, I feel like if he was placed in the right leadership, and to calm him down to temper his temper, there would have been some very real possibilities in a law enforcement career for him. It's just that he does have a temper, and he doesn't control it well. Please get a camera into the Jeremy DeWitt trial. I will not be able to attend the trial inside of it. I think there will be a camera there, but because of COVID, they're not letting people observe, unfortunately. Let's see, what else we got? What else do we have? How's it going, Aston Nathaniel? Good to have you here. Let me know when you're in Seattle again. We'll have to do a First Amendment audit of the Scientology building. Good times. People are making Metro t-shirts and badges, etc. Jeremy's not getting a cut of the profits. That doesn't surprise me. I would encourage people to be careful if he has registered that anything that he's using as what's the word I'm looking for? As a logo, could be an issue, but I'm pretty sure he's stolen other people's logos, so it might be fair game. See. And so people saying he wasted his life. Well, I'm not gonna say he wasted his life. As far as the company he runs, he could have had a very successful funeral escort company. It's just that he didn't have the right insurance. He doesn't have the right licensing to do what he claims he does. He does it incorrectly. If he had not wanted to, here's the problem. He wanted it to be like a police department. This was his chance to be a police officer without being a police officer. And he runs it like that, and that is his biggest issue. If he ran it more appropriately, it would have been fine. And maybe, I don't know what kind of money that brings in, but it would have been fine. Unfortunately, that's just not how he's running it. I'd love to see Jeremy in South Park. Like, if they actually put him in there, I think that'd be amazing. That would be, oh. Oh, I finally caught up. I finally caught up to the end of the comments, folks. Oh, whew. Took forever. How are you guys? Could have been a bounty. Jeremy DeWitt, Bounty Hunter. I would watch that show. I would fund that show. I'd put $5 in there because I keep buying equipment for camera equipment. I'm looking at a camera right now that's $2,000. That's a lot. That's a lot of money. That is more money than I have to spend on a single camera, and that's just the camera. That's not even the lens. But it's a very nice camera. I can do all sorts of cool things with it. But oh well. So, but yes, I would. If that was a thing, that would make me very, very happy. What are your questions? Anyone have any questions for me before I skedaddle and get myself a burrito somewhere or something? I don't know. I'm out in Seattle. I might as well get me some food, right? A long, awkward pause while people catch up. There's a delay. You guys know how it is. Anyway, I'm going to take this time to promote myself. My Twitter, Sergeant Blue Bacon, is full of sassy little tidbits, as I say. Is that real? Is that the facts? Are you sure about that? What else do I use? I haven't checked my Facebook in probably months. I do have a Patreon. It's not super duper active because the channel's not super duper active. So I'm sorry about that. I hate having people pay money to see things and then I don't update it. So I will be putting scripts for future videos up there. The next thing that's probably going to be up there is going to be the script for the rapper in Beverly Hills, who happens to be Cardi B's husband, by the way. The guy who was actually arrested was Cardi B's cousin. Just fun facts. So we're gonna lay the legal smackdown on that situation. And there goes my phone. We're fine. Everything's fine. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Have I ever reached out to other channels for a collaboration? I've reached out to... Yes, I have. Who have I reached out to? Donut Operator. I said, I have footage of the Chaz Chop Zone if you want it. That's the extent of that. I don't know. I feel like if I reached out to... oh gosh, who is it? Now, you got me on the spot now. If I reached out to Degeneration Nation, I know that they watch some of my stuff. Well, when I was doing Sovereign Citizen videos, they were watching my stuff, and they were like, oh, this is great. I don't think our styles mesh terribly well, because I try to be more sort of educational, where he tries to be more entertaining, which is fair. I do find his stuff very entertaining. It's not... I would not put out information like that just because that's not the nature of this channel. But I do enjoy his editing. Audit the Audit reached out to me, and I was like, yeah, I don't have time for you. Audit the Audit is a channel that claims to audit auditors, but doesn't. They sound very knowledgeable, but they get a lot wrong, and it's always... They always make the auditor look good, when in fact that's often not correct. They have a lot of views, a lot of subscribers. It's very easy to get a lot of subscribers when you're pro auditor and you put out good content. I'm not pro auditor. I'm neutral towards auditors. I'm pro audit, not necessarily pro auditor, right? I'm not gonna. I could make a lot of money doing that, but I'm not going to, because I have morals and standards. Audit the Audit, I'm not impressed with. And I would do a collaboration with them, but I'm gonna basically... Any video I'm doing it on, if the auditors aren't correct, I'm absolutely going to make that clear. I don't trust Audit the Audit to put my information in there equally alongside their information, just based on how they run their channel. I'm not saying that they would be dishonest about it, but they are very biased towards auditors. I have this balance on my steering wheel. It's not working out so hot. I would love to. I'd love to do a collaboration. I've done stuff with Brian King, I believe, and he is a member of the auditing community. It's not a law enforcement channel, but we've had some very good discussions. I've been very happy to be part of it. And if you ever, Brian, if you ever see this, which I doubt, this is getting to be a little bit of a long stream, I'd love to be part of that again if you're still active, and give some insight on that. But that's that. Will I do a Scientology video? If Nasty Nathaniel ends up in this area, I will do a Scientology video with him. Did I talk to any Brit women today? Are you talking about the person with the thing that's coming up? Because if that's the case, yes, I did. Nasty Nathaniel asked, do I think that there's a possibility Jeremy DeWitt could beat all his charges and walk away clean and clear? Only if there's an extreme technicality. I mean, there would have to be no, I don't think he's going to walk away completely clean of this. This is too big. There's too much going on. It would basically have to be fruit of the poisonous tree, which is something that the website discusses, saying like, oh, they illegally pulled him over in the first place, which is how they got all of their footage. Therefore, none of this is admissible in court. They're wrong about that, and I will have a video explaining it. Probably put this light on. It doesn't really matter. There's enough light here. No, I don't think he's going to get away scot-free.
Let me see what else you got. Rod of God, are you gonna your brother gonna bring me into the fold of protesters, get me on the inside? I've almost done that. There's a group that calls themselves Seattle Antifa, who had they met in a church every Tuesday or something, and I almost went there to document it, but I never got around to it, and now I don't think that's a good idea. Non-violent, that's good. That's good. Protesting is great. You have the right to protest. Go protest. I'm not going to tell you that whatever you're protesting is wrong. I will tell you that, if it's illegal, but I'm not going to say you are right or wrong to protest these things that you might feel strongly about. Another Metro State song. Once the trial is over, I'll probably do a second one. Apparently, he wasn't terribly happy with the first one, which is fair. I can't argue that. It was a fun video. I enjoyed it. It was good. Molly says, of course, I don't have a problem with auditors who record on public property and are respectful about it. Yes, if you're on public property, you're fine. Now, I like it when they're respectful. They don't have to be respectful, but I think less of them as a person if they're not, and they have no reason to be polite. For example, there was a video I just saw of some guy approaching two officers that were standing at a gas station, and he just starts swearing at them and calling them pigs. He's obviously trying to get a reaction. The officer's like, okay, have a lovely day, sir. I hope you're doing great. And he keeps leaving, like, okay, I'm going to leave now. Am I detained? Like, no, sir, you approached us. Okay, I'm leaving. And then he comes back because he's not getting a reaction from them. That's unacceptable. What are you doing? What are you trying to accomplish? Stop it, right? But if there is an issue, like Furry Potato, I have my issues with Furry Potato, with the recent content over the last few months. But there is content that shows the police doing the absolute wrong thing when it comes to her behavior. And we're not going to discuss the gender pronouns. If Furry Potato wants to be called her, it doesn't bother me, right? It doesn't hurt me at all. So, there have been times where the police absolutely did not do what they should have done. But there are a lot of times where Furry Potato is absolutely in the wrong. And recently that has been the case. And I don't necessarily blame her because of the things she has experienced. But I think part of the problem is she's in this echo chamber where she only surrounds herself with people who feel the same way she does, and so she a lot of the stuff isn't being put in the context it needs to be in her mind. And now, as far as auditing on property that is not a traditional public forum, there are limitations, and I bring that up. I brought that up to so many auditors. I'll comment on their videos and be like, oh, actually, this is how this works. Here's the law. And they'll be like, screw you, dude. Like, okay, well, are you not, like, I thought the point was to show that the police were doing the wrong thing, but now you're doing the wrong thing and refusing information about it. That's not great. Why would you do that? That seems foolish. If you're trying to do the right thing, isn't this information you should have? So, yeah, audit Metro State. If they were in Seattle, I would audit the bejesus out of them. That would be good content. Right? I'd follow them around. It's the same with the protests, right? I'm out of these protests because I heard a lot of conflicting information, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to see it for myself. And I'm glad I did. I've seen a lot of very interesting things. I haven't seen the police doing the wrong thing yet, but I've seen protesters doing really good things, and I've seen protesters doing really bad things. So the Seattle Police Department is actually a pretty good police department. So I haven't personally seen any of these claims that I've seen about them doing terrible, terrible things. But I want to be out here to get, so I don't. If I can get the footage myself, and I don't have to rely on other people and they're, however they're twisting the information, because everyone generally will twist the information if they're putting it out. If it's not an unedited version of anything, it's going to be edited either intentionally or not in some way that supports a certain view. Sorry, I just hit a button by accident. But in the interest of figuring out what Metro State is actually doing, and if they're doing it correctly, I would absolutely follow them around if they were in this area and be like, all right, what are they doing wrong? 100%. Or what are they doing right? What's your badge number, Jeremy? Could Metro State survive if they got rid of Jeremy? I think, sure. I think if they got rid of Jeremy and laid low for like 6 months, they could start up. I would recommend starting up under a different name, getting new decals for the vehicles, and absolutely, I think they could absolutely continue. Maybe not under that name.
because there's so much negativity towards it. But it's not difficult to get it registered under a different name. You have the contacts, you know what you're doing. Just reach out to the people you already do a lot of work for and say, we're changing our name to this because of bad publicity. We're still the same people. We've made some changes to make it even better, and we are under new leadership, new whatever. Yes, I think without Jeremy it could survive if people are willing to run it correctly and are capable of running it correctly. But I've heard that APR is out of the Metro State business. I have. I've heard of conflicting reports. I need to do a little more research into it. But we'll see. Reefa Man says most of the videos I've seen is auditors standing on public property. Yes. However, you get into things like post offices. Post offices, you can absolutely be restricted from filming if it's causing an issue. There are laws. The Poster 7, which is misread by many auditors, does not say that you can film anywhere in the post office. It's a whole thing. So there are places that are believed to be public that aren't public. And then, of course, you get things like filming a restricted military installation from public property. The way the statute is written, that is illegal. Will you get convicted of that? Probably not, because it's a lot of work to fight a constitutional challenge, which is the first thing any good lawyer is going to do. And it's not worth the money to fight it if you're not like a terrorist. So you're probably not going to get convicted, but it is still legal. Now, there are people, Herb, who disagree with me. But I've talked to attorneys. I've reached out to people who work both in the civilian sector and the military sector as far as law goes. And they're like, yeah, no, it's certainly applicable. Now, and the same thing, are you going to get convicted? Unlikely, but that's not because it doesn't apply to you. That's just because it's a lot of work to actually get that conviction. It's not necessarily worth our time. Hit that button again. I had this balanced on my steering wheel. It's difficult. That's why it's so shaky. I'm sorry about that. Echo chambers are dangerous. I find myself in echo chambers still. And in certain circumstances, my channel is an echo chamber in the comments section, depending on the video. You gotta go out, gotta get out of your comfort zone. I try to do that with varying success, but I have my bias. Just like anybody else. I try not to have too much of a bias, but unfortunately, I can't be completely without it. And anything I say, I don't think you should take me as your only source of information. Please do research. I should be like a springboard to find out more, right? Let me see. All right. Well, I think I'm going to get out of here. Quick, ask me your last minute questions so I can go get myself a little bit of a snack. I can stop looking at my face. It's weird. Class A misdemeanor offense in Texas to burn the flag, but it's against case law to charge someone. That is a excellent point. So it is a misdemeanor to burn the flag, but you are constitutionally protected. The Supreme Court has actually ruled on that. They say, look, if you're burning the flag as part of a protest, for example, to convey a message, that's protected under freedom of speech. If anyone gets charged with desecration of the flag for burning it, the Supreme Court says we will take that case immediately. You don't have to go through all the appeals courts. They will take that case. So if you're burning a flag, you're like, I hate America, I'm going to burn the flag. You burn the flag? All right, great. Now, you could be charged with unlawfully lighting a fire in public. You could, if you're using it as like a Molotov cocktail, you could be charged with damage to buildings and whatever. At that point, you'd probably be charged with burning the flag, because that's not conveying a message. That's destroying property. But if it's just to send a message being like, America sucks, whoosh, no, that's protected. And do I agree with that? Well, I agree that it's protected by the First Amendment. I don't necessarily agree with those actions, but if you feel that strongly about it, go buy a flag. I don't know. I'm here to defend your right to do what you're doing. Whether or not I agree with what you're doing doesn't really matter. It's about the Constitution. right? Which is why things like the thin blue line flag, a lot of people are like, no, that is desecration. It's legally not. Legally, it's not. I have a 3-minute video on it. It's legally not desecration of the American flag, because the thin blue line flag, being black and white, is not the American flag, so any additions to it don't fall under 4 USC 8,